Hey everyone, how's it going? I've got here a master level that is made by Elizabethany, and it's done on a level that is personally my favourite in the game, Kadingir Sanctum, and enough of it has been changed this time around to warrant revisiting it once more. So to backtrack a little bit, I'll give a brief explanation how the master levels generally work. Historically, there were levels designed to include bigger and tougher combat scenarios, and in the case of Doom Eternal, aspects of the level progression was mainly the same, albeit with some changes in regards to the encounters and the pathfinding due to the platforming sections in the levels. But not all Doom games have them, however, and Doom 2016, officially speaking, never got the master levels, probably due to the snap map itself, along with the assumption that players could just simply make it themselves within the snap map. However, there are some mods made for 2016, some that would enhance the experience entirely, like the Glory Kill Overhaul mod, which brings back a whole number of animations that were scrapped, the mini horde mode that's sort of like an endless wave mode for the game, and the view model FOV, which increases the distance of your weapon's view, and not just the FOV for the player. Finally, you have master levels like these, which amp up the fights to a huge degree, and with Elizabethany's modding experience, has been able to save you time by editing the progression of the level, to the point where you can just simply focus on the combat from start to finish. Anyway, let's get into Kadingir Sanctum, arguably, in my opinion anyway, the best level in the game. This is the 6th level, and is the halfway point in Doom 2016. It's also the level that will test whether you can complete Ultra Nightmare or not. If you can beat this level effortlessly, then you can beat UN. But this version of the level, maybe not, because it was intended to be completed on a fully completed save with all Argent upgrades, weapon upgrades, and runes. It skips the intro and you can race towards the gate. You're also given an ammo box, and there's more of them this time around. Trust me, you will need them. Kadingir Sanctum isn't screwing around this time either, because the pit that you see down below has shields and a revenant. On its own it's nothing, but keep in mind it's just a warm up to what's coming next. You have more variety of enemies to contend with them from before, and more annoying ones too. A Mancubus, a Revenant, and a Hell Knight say hello, and it's a good combination here. Having 2 ranged opponents and a charging Hell Knight with limited space was a good idea here, and personally though, I would have added 3 more enemies. 1 Cacodemon, a Baron, and a Pika combined with the other 3, and then with that you'd immediately have a Sweatfest. But that's just me personally. The first big arena fight has you pitted against multiple Cacodemons, Barons, Hell Knights, and Mancubuses. Everything else in between is just there to harass you, and having more Cacodemons this time around gives you aerial pressure on top of Baron Balls and Imp attacks. You still have mobility options with the platforms, but try not to get stuck on the ground too often, since this time around you have more enemies to deal with. After you've cleared it, you get the yellow skull and move on to the gate. This part is more annoying than the original due to the presence of more summoners, as well as more revenants and a Baron. The ones that you come across need to be deleted quickly on top of the Baron that spawns, like I said. The green ball can snipe you and the wave attacks can delete your health. Everything else though can be kept at a distance until you start gradually getting rid of them. Also, don't forget the cyber mancubuses either. They could screw you over if you're not paying attention. This fight is more or less a breather in comparison to the rest of the fights that come up, like the calm before the storm basically. Also, if you look closely as you come down, there's a throwback reference to Doom 3, which is awesome. After you acquire the blue skull, you revisit the first big arena, but this time it's harder with the inclusion of pinkies, summoners, and cyber mancubuses. I always appreciate having dynamic enemy spawns like this, because they constantly force you to rework your strat. Pinkies forcing you on top, summoners flushing you out, and cyber mancubuses creating hazardous terrain to give you less breathing room. You can also use pathways like this to create a cluster and just remove enemy from map if you have to, but make sure that they don't entrap you, otherwise you're fucked. Otherwise though, you can just keep moving, divide and conquer as you go along. Now this next bit has been changed so that you don't have to platform around the area to reach the skull. You can just press it and immediately move on to the second big arena. This one's a real bullbuster. You get a Cyber Mancubus sniping you, 3 Cacodemons, a Hell Knight around the corner, and a bunch of annoying Revenants and Imps on ground level. This is where the Siphon grenade really comes in handy, since enemies are close you can just leech health off of them. But just as a warning, once you've killed enough enemies, 2 Barons, a Summoner, and some more enemies come to join the party. As always, I'd prioritize these enemies because their damage output is disgusting, and given enough time the Summoner can spawn enemies, which isn't something that you want here. You still have the haste power up in case that you need it. If I were you though, I wouldn't waste the opportunity and just use it. As you come up towards the next big fight, you get another ammo box. Use it and get ready for this one. The Baron in the original level gets introduced here, and initially it was fighting imps and zombies. This time around you've got Revenants and Mancubuses in the mix, and eventually Pinkies, Summoners, and more Barons join the fight. I felt like this is what the original encounter should have been like. The Baron is a hulking machine, and its presence should have commanded more demons into this fight. My recommendation here is to go the other way around and loop to the other side, grab the quad power up and start cleaning house. Now from here on you've got a few easier fights but with more enemies than before. Really not a big deal here. Save your chainsaw ammo too for the final fight because you are going to really need it. Before you start though, make sure you grab the ammo box so that you tool up for this one. And off you go. Soon as you get into the final arena, you are immediately introduced to a Baron with a Cyber Mancubus above right in front of you, and there are two other ones nearby as well, alongside Summoners, Revenants, a shitload of Imps, and Soldiers. The quad damage is there for a reason. Use it and get to work. The fight here is pretty overwhelming, and is arguably the hardest one here. The Summoners are something you need to watch out for too, because visibility doesn't mean much to them. They can throw attacks at you even if a wall is against them. When you clear out most of the big baddies, a huge fucking surprise spawns into the arena. A cyberdemon. Hell yes. This is how you send off the final arena fight in this level. A boss fight that has been modified into a big enemy to clear out. And yeah, don't let it hit you like that. The cyberdemon here is something that you need to delete quickly, because its damage output is insane here. Whether it be with BFG shots or just combo city, just get rid of it as soon as you can. But here is a tip. If you've managed to save the quad damage power up, use that with the BFG and it's an insta wipe on the cyberdemon. And that's it for the Kadingir Sanctum level. This is not only my favourite level in Doom 2016, but this is my favourite master level made so far. It cranks up the volume of demons in the arena with more dynamic spawns and smarter positioning, with Cacodemons providing aerial support, Cyber Mancubuses creating toxic rounds, Hell Knights and Barons forcing you to keep your distance on top of Imps and Shields makes for some genuinely amazing fights here. The Cyberdemon was also a fantastic way to end the level too, and given the fact that you're in Hell and you're its biggest threat, it makes sense to throw everything at you this time around. And this is what I like the most about the master levels. It takes you more seriously and really puts your skills to the grind. And the Kadingir Sanctum master level is no exception here. Mods like this are the reason why Doom 2016 is a game still worth talking about even to this day. There is still interest in the community, and its modding scene is criminally underrated, and a lot more can be made, but time will tell in this regard. Until then, I highly implore you to try this level out, and to visit the Doom 2016 modding community on Discord, where it's active and still alive. Thank you for watching.